Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the live webinar. You are on our webinar series called Breakthrough to Your Fun and Fabulous Life, and I have a surprise. I am changing the name of this webinar series. It's fun, it's very specific to the group of people that I work with, and it's going to be called the Healthy, Wealthy Leader webinar series. So for those of you who are joining me live, I welcome you here and it's great to have you. I see that some of you are hopping on. If you could put your name and where you're from in the chat box up here, that would be wonderful. And I can find out who is on with us live because we're going to have a lot of fun today. These webinars are a lot of fun and you're going to learn a lot. So another thing to remember is you want to have pen or pencil and your favorite journal or notebook so that you can look back at your notes from these training sessions. So if you're just joining us, I'm going to have a sip of my drink while you put your name and where you're from in the chat box up here. I see some of you are on live. For those of you who are going to watch the replay, I'm going to put up there a link. It's a sneak peek to the first 2 chapters of my ebook. It's going to be paperback as well as ebook. And I've just been editing the chapters today, and I'm going to get that formatted. It's going to be so exciting. It's coming soon. So I'm going to put the link there for all of you. There's an action step each day to take so that you can start creating more time freedom for yourself and creating a life that has a lot more balance to it. Time for yourself, time for your health, time to decrease your stress. So if you're just joining us, please put your name and where you're from in the chat box up here, and I will get going, tell you a little bit about myself, my story, and start sharing some slides with you. We had people from Vancouver Island last week who were on the call. A couple weeks before that, we had people hop on from England and also from New Jersey, I believe. So it's fun. There's a lot of people that are on these webinars from all over North America, Europe. People are finding out about them in Thailand. Hello, Marika. Are you the Marika I think that you are? Welcome from Courtney. Who else is joining us this morning? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Karen from Parksville. Great to have you on live, ladies. If you're just joining us, please put your name and where you're from. If you stay until the end of the webinar, I always give away a free book. There are so many incredibly powerful books that I use in my coaching practice. Hi, Marika. Awesome. Great to have you on live. Anyways, the book that I'm going to give away today is called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyways. It's really powerful. So many great proven strategies in that book that I use in my own life and in my coaching practice that will really help you bust through that glass ceiling of fear that you have thought you couldn't bust through before, so that you can achieve some bigger goals and dreams for yourself and your family. Let me turn my phone down. Hi, Annette. Welcome. Great to have you again live. Your book is in the mail. Woohoo! Annette won a book last week. And Linda from Cold Lake, Alberta. Welcome, Linda. Awesome to have you. Amber from Manitoba, Canada. Super wonderful to have all of you live. We've got lots of ladies on the webinar today. Fun. Usually it's a mix of men and ladies. So we'll see. Maybe we've got our token males here today. Okay, you can see below there is, Karen, you have to sneak out at 11:45 for another meeting. That's okay because our webinar today is going to be a bit shorter. I also have to do the same thing. We have bought an investment property and my husband and I are fixing that up, and we're either going to rent it or sell it. Yeah, you're welcome, Annette. So I am going to meet him and we are going to do some work on it. And so today on the webinar, I am going to cover 5 health shortcuts for when you just don't have the time. So if you are like me and you're just throwing the last things in the bag for your children, or you're trying to throw in some healthy things for your lunch, or you don't get time and maybe you don't eat, and then you get frazzled, and then you get rude with your spouse, or you can't focus and do the best work for your patients, your clients, or if you're at school, you can't focus during your studies. If that's you, you are totally in the right place today, because what I do on these webinars is I coach high-end entrepreneurs, I coach healthcare professionals, I coach financial advisors, and community leaders who are just so busy that they're feeling worn out or maybe burnt out, and they want to get their hands on some tools to change their lives and situations. They want to feel more energized again, happier again, more fulfilled and living on purpose. They want to be able to take more time off. So let me share with you how I've been feeling in the past. Rick, you have to go by 11:45 as well. That's great. We're all on the same timeline today. In the past, I have felt like my boundaries were so out of whack, my priorities were so out of whack, that my family never felt like they had enough of me. They didn't feel like they had enough quality time with me. They didn't feel like they were connecting with me. They felt like I was so focused and lopsided, focused on my business, as some of you may be on your studies, or some of you may be on your workload, that I wasn't really being present with my family. And I really did not have that fulfilling of a social life, because I didn't have the skills that I do now to create that life balance. I didn't have the skills that I do now because of all of the coaching research that I've done and training, of all of the experience that I have with my clients now and applying these skills to my life. What's really changed for me is my ability to prioritize my health and not feel bad about it. That is so key, right? How many of you feel guilty when you make time for yourself, or selfish for prioritizing your own needs for physical, spiritual, or emotional health? Put your hand up and say, that's me, in the chat box, because those feelings of guilt and selfishness are worldwide. It's like an epidemic, and we'll cover that a little bit in today's webinar. Anyways, when I applied what I learned through my experience in coaching to my own life and my clients' lives, things started to shift. My kids no longer say, "Mom, you're always on the phone, you're always working." My husband doesn't say, "Put that phone away." You know, once in a while he has to give me some boundary checks, and it helps. But now I know what I need to have in place, and I take the steps daily, and I've created the habits and self-discipline so that I can have the health that I want, have the happiness, have the time off, have the balance. So let's hop in. I'm going to share my screen with you now. Oh, it looks like for some reason, let me just make sure that this is available for me to share with you. Pull it up again. Just give me 1 sec. For some reason, my computer screen didn't want to share with you guys. I'm looking for health shortcuts. 5 health shortcuts. There we go. Okay, I got it, everyone. Let's see if it will let me share with you now. Yep, here we go. All right, so today's webinar is part of the series called Breakthrough to Your Fun and Fabulous Life. I'm actually changing the name to be the Healthy, Wealthy Leader webinar series. And it's all about helping you decrease your stress, create time for yourself, and increase your productivity and success in your business or work life. We're going to cover a lot today, specifically focusing on health shortcuts today. But these webinars are all about creating stress management strategies so that when you're caught in an anxious or stressful period of time, that you know how to use self-control of your mouth, your words, and your body, your mind, so that you don't freak out and cause other people stress. I'm going to show you how to develop habits so that you can increase the impact you have with your work and feel like you're really making a difference, increase your productivity, make time for your health, and show you how mastering your mindset will bring you greater prosperity and energy. These webinars happen every week on Wednesdays at 11, and I also do live workshops and training. This is one of the workshops that I did, on a smaller scale a couple of years ago. If you have any questions about what I'm talking about, please feel free to jump in and share your 2 cents or ask any question. Like I said, stick around for the free goodies. I have put the link there to my 2 free chapters for you guys to download and have a look at and apply to your lives so you can get better results in the areas you want to change. And also that free book I'm going to give at the end of this webinar called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyways, if you can answer a question correctly, if you're the first person to answer a question. My promise is that we're going to have a lot of fun because that's one of my highest values, and also to be able to give you as much as I can of my expertise and experience in the half an hour to 45 minutes that I have with you today. I know that a lot of you want to be able to have it all. You want to be able to decrease your stress, but you also want to have more free time. You also want to have more quality time with the people you love. You want to be able to be really productive, but you want to have more time off at the same time. And how do you do that all? So I'm going to show you what habits you need to develop so you can have success in all areas of your life. A little bit about me. I am the creator of this webinar series. I'm also the author of the upcoming book. It's called From Burnt Out to Bliss. It's a 30-day challenge for high achievers to have more freedom and more fun. I'm a trainer, speaker, coach, and I work with entrepreneurs, people in corporate, healthcare, service professionals like financial advisors, and I show them how to have more free time. I show them how to regain their physical health and increase their productivity while we decrease their stress levels. I host workshops and offer group coaching programs with clients from all over North America, and I use the systems that I'm about to share in my life so you know they've already worked for me. Here is me speaking at various different groups, some with banking professionals, some with healthcare professionals, some for entrepreneurs, some for financial advisors. Some for realtors. I've done a lot of speaking engagements. And the flip side of me is I love to spend as much time as possible outside in nature. It just revives my soul, and all those feel-good endorphins pump me right up. More time outside. Here's my boys. Simon's on the left. He is just about to turn 9 in October, and Gavin's just turned 11. He's on the right. We love surfing and boogie boarding here and in Hawaii. Here we are again hiking, and here's my whole family. There's my husband Beach on the left. We love spending time on the west coast of Vancouver Island here in British Columbia. That is where, another place that we get to spend wild and free time. I want to share a testimonial with you right before we hop in. This is a woman who I worked with who is a family physician in the Comox Valley where I live. She came to me because she was feeling like she was stuck in some pretty negative thinking patterns, and they were affecting how she viewed herself and her self-esteem. They were also affecting the quality of her relationship with her husband. She didn't feel as close to him as she wanted to feel. She was very focused on work, so she wasn't spending the time improving her health and her eating habits, her exercise habits, like she wanted to. So she wasn't making any progress in that area, and her sleep was really suffering. So as you can tell, all of those challenges really added up to her not feeling very good about herself. But what was great is that she knew that it was great timing to contact me. There's never perfect timing, but when you know the right timing is here, you got to seize it. So she did, and I gave her strategies that she implemented to decrease her stress and change her beliefs. So she was able to radically improve her thought life, and she became more gentle with herself. Her marriage improved. She started implementing an exercise routine and started doing yoga on a regular basis and felt great about it. So magically, she found the time. And her sleep and energy levels really improved. So that's the really powerful thing about coaching is you can make the shifts you want to make if you're willing to get mentorship and you're willing to take big action steps. So that's what I would encourage those of you who know it's the right timing for you to jump in with both feet. I'm going to stop the screen share and hop into the live training with you. If there's anyone who is joining us and then I get to see what my hair looks like, right? When I stop the screen share, it's all over on one side. If you haven't put your name and where you're from, then let me know. Who else has crazy hair? It either doesn't do what you want it to do and it's really curly, or it's really straight and you can't do it anyways. Hair is fun. Hair is challenging and hair is fun. So we're going to look at, I'm going to grab my notes here, and we're going to look at the 5 health shortcuts for when you just don't have time. We're going to talk about 5, and then I have a few bonus shortcuts to give you. So this is where you want to start taking notes. Obviously, when we're really busy, we want to have a shortcut to feeling better. We want to have a shortcut to happiness, a shortcut to feeling healthy. We want to be able to do something to improve ourselves, because when we're improving ourselves and when we're contributing to the lives of others, that's when we feel most fulfilled. It's a well-known truth that you're going to feel better about yourself when you're taking some sort of action to improve yourself. So the first thing that you can do, the first shortcut, is to take cat naps. We're going to talk about sleep. To take cat naps instead of getting a full 7 or 8 hours of sleep. I have some friends who rarely ever get 7 hours of sleep. They're more likely to get 5 or 6 hours of sleep, and I don't know how they do it. Personally, I can't run my life on that little amount of hours of sleep. How about you guys? I'm just like a show of hands. How many people actually get 7 hours of sleep? Do you need more? I know that my prime number is 8. If I can get 8 hours of sleep, I feel really well rested and I can wake up early and have this habitual routine of quiet time for myself in the morning and usually exercise first thing as well. So how many hours of sleep do you guys get? The shortcut is, if you don't get your full 7 or 8, you can come home, and I know some of you have kids, but you still can get a cat nap in there usually. A 20-minute cat nap is great for your brain, and it will actually re-energize you and help you focus again. The second thing has to do with meditation. So this shortcut. It's recommended that we meditate or pray, calm your mind, calm your thoughts every single day for about 30 minutes. So how do people make time for that? How do people make time to be still? I know for myself, it's self-discipline and habit. But if we want to have a shortcut to decreasing our stress and not having to deal with stress disorders that are not uncommon, they're very real, what you can do is you can be a smart multitasker. You can go for a walk instead. So you're getting exercise and you're getting time for meditation or prayer, connecting with whatever you want to call that person or being or source that is greater than you if you believe in spiritual things. So Marika, you say you get an average of about 6. Okay, so it's different for everyone. You might feel like you're really energized and you might feel like you still need more sleep. I don't know, you have to determine that for yourself, right? When it comes to meditation, walking can really get you in that state because it's so repetitive. It naturally moves you towards feeling calm, and it gives you an opportunity, if you're walking by yourself, to get in touch with how you're feeling, to really let your thoughts go and focus on faith-building thoughts empowering, healthy thoughts. So what you want to do is you want to spend at least 15 minutes and you want to be focusing on the life that you want to create. You want to be thankful and showing appreciation for what you do have. So you're consciously taking this time to increase and improve your brain matter, because the study of neurolinguistic, that is, I don't know if I have that right. It's like your thoughts actually change the makeup of your brain chemistry, and it's like you have mental real estate in your mind, and you want to plant homes, thoughts. You want to root them in your brain so that you feel really good about yourself. You feel expectant that good things are going to be showing up in your day-to-day life. You want to root those thoughts in there and crowd out the negative ones, the disempowering ones. So you can do that by going for a walk. You can also do that by listening to uplifting, fun music. Even just one song where you're like, okay, this is 2 to 5 minutes of just fun or relaxing music time. That can be your meditation time as well. That's a great shortcut. Who else has a meditation shortcut that really works for you and it makes you feel rested, peaceful, happy, or hopeful? You can share it with us here in the chat box. The third shortcut is vacations. So the experts recommend, the experts on vacations and importance of vacations recommend that you take a vacation every year and you absolutely take yourself away from all devices. Well, for some people, they don't want to do that, or they do want to do that, but they don't know how to completely take themselves away from their phone, from their tablet, from their computer, because they feel like maybe things will fall apart and they'll lose control of their success, something like that. What I want to say to you is you don't have to completely take yourself away from all devices, but what I would recommend is that you have a very specific time when you're on vacation, or even these mini vacations we call weekends. Hopefully you do have weekends off, or at least one day a week that you fully take off of work and you rest yourself and you have fun and you re-energize, you do things for yourself and your family. Don't check your email, don't phone work, don't engage with colleagues or employees, patients, only in a specific chunk of time if possible. So whether it's 10 minutes to an hour, that is your time to connect with business things, work-related topics. Otherwise, you're not available. Experts are not available 24/7. And I know some of you are on call, you're healthcare professionals, or there's specific times when you have to be available. Well, that is your line of work, and I understand that. But you do have times when you are not on call, and you need to make sure that those days you aren't available all day long for other people, because it will lead to burnout. Who else has a trick up their sleeves when it comes to vacations and taking yourself away and saying enough is enough, away from work? You can share them with us here. This is a great opportunity to share the wisdom that you have, because we can all learn from you as well. Number 4 is exercise. When it comes to taking shortcuts to exercise, we're supposed to exercise 30 minutes minimum 5 days a week. But what they have found, these exercise experts, which I am not one of, I love to stay fit, I love to stay healthy, but my expertise is stress, time management, and income, increasing your income and productivity. What these experts say is that those 30-minute daily increments of exercise can actually be broken up into 10 minutes of focused exercise. And I've done this, I've heard it from other local health experts as well. If you only have 10 minutes before you work, to do some squats and push-ups, maybe to go for literally a 10-minute run, and then do something over your lunch break, and maybe it's a walk, and then to go for, I don't know, a quick bike ride with your kids. You get my drift. You can do 2 10-minute periods a day, and you're getting the same effect as that 30-minute exercise routine. Who already does that? Who already breaks up their exercise routine and fits in shorter chunks? And who has longer chunks than half an hour that you work out for? I'm curious, with the group of you who are on this live today, what your exercise routine is. If you feel like it's lacking and you need help in this area, you need it to be more consistent, let me know if this 10-minute rule is going to serve you, and if it's something that you think that would be helpful for you to implement. Because when you think about it, it's easier to stick to 10 minutes. You think to yourself, it's only 10 minutes. I can do this before I get out the door. Or it's only 10 minutes of my lunch. I'm still going to have time to eat. Marika, you said, I use journaling daily gratitudes as a quiet time to reflect on my day, my life. I guess this could be considered meditation. Yeah, I think that that's part of meditation, because first, you're taking time for yourself to be quiet, and reflection is a great tool instead of, what do you call it? Like, instead of chewing on old negative experiences, you're actually looking at your life from an objective perspective and contemplating. And contemplating, meditating is all about focusing your attention on something good, right? Faith building, uplifting, encouraging, healthy thoughts. So that's what that sounds like it is. Good for you. Awesome, awesome habit. Anyone else want to share some habits that are working for you already? Or maybe some habits that you'd like accountability and help with, support with, that we've already talked about in sleep or meditating or vacationing, exercise. Karen, you said you've started the daily exercise and breaking it up into chunks. Awesome. Lunch walks, after dinner bike ride with your son. So you've already started that, Karen, or you want to start that? I'm unsure what you mean. Amber, you said you have a hard time committing. You have time, but you hate doing it. It's one of my biggest struggles, and it's depressing me because it affects every area of your life. I understand, Amber, and I want to tell you about one area of my life before I get into my last shortcut with you, the 5th shortcut for getting to your health goals quicker. I can now say that I view myself as an organized person because I have changed one main habit, and it has this beautiful ripple effect, Amber, that you are going to experience in your own life when you start taking small action steps in one area and not giving yourself excuses anymore. I decided that I was going to raise my standards, and this is what you can do too. I wrote down a list, so take good notes here, of what I was no longer going to stand for, what I was no longer going to put up with. And one of the things was a messy desk. It was so messy. My husband was always on me because he is A-type and couldn't stand it. I could put up with it for much longer, but it definitely was an energy drainer. And it drained my energy every time I looked at it. Every time you think about committing to something and then you don't do it and you procrastinate, it's probably sucking you dry of energy, or at least sucking a lot of energy from you. So what you can do is you can decide what you're no longer going to stand for, and that raises your standards. Keep the list visible, because you'll start viewing yourself in a new way, but you have to stay committed to reading that list. It'll start helping you take new actions. And I want to encourage you too to be more committed to the new life you want to create rather than being comfortable. That was a big turnaround for me too. I realized that I valued being comfortable over achieving some massively delightful, delicious, juicy new results in my personal and business life. That is when you are going to see yourself being catapulted forward and making some big progress towards your goals. Linda, you said, depends on the day. I try and do 30 minutes in the morning before work if I didn't get enough sleep. I have to skip it though. This happens several times a week, unfortunately. What line of work are you in, Linda? I'm just curious. What makes you go to sleep too late in the evening and then affect how much time you can make for exercise? I'm just curious. And you're not alone. A lot of people experience this, right? We have these goals and then we don't manage to stick to them because we either sabotage our own goals and maybe don't have the best time management practices, or there's a few other things that can play in there. Marika, you say you get up before everyone else to get in some exercise early in the morning. Sometimes it's 30 minutes, sometimes only 10. I have a couple of go-to workouts that I can just do. Awesome. So having some workouts that you know under your belt are great, because then you don't have to spend time, which is a precious commodity, thinking about what you're going to do for exercise. You can just start doing it. And waking up before everyone else in your house, if you have kids, is key. It's one perfect time. Even if you're not a morning person and you don't like to wake up when it's dark in the winter, you're going to feel so good about yourself when you get into that daily habit. It'll feel so good that you won't want to miss it. The scales will flip the other way, you know? Karen, yes, I've started. I've made my old school husband share an online calendar. Your old school husband? Share an online calendar on his phone, and I put on in hair appointments, spin class, kids, piano, hockey, etc. So he's no excuses not to know what's going on. Or if he forgets to look at the fridge calendar. Good for you. It sounds like you're really getting organized, Karen. That's fabulous. And you're welcome, Amber. Let me share with you guys the last shortcut, which is we're supposed to eat 5 to 9 servings of fruit every day. That's massive, right? Even if you love fruit and vegetables, I love vegetables. I love fruit too. That comes after my love for vegetables. So I am always wanting to eat more of it, but it takes a lot of time to prep your food, right? It takes a lot of time to be organized and planned ahead of time. So the shortcut that you can create for yourself, and this might turn some of you off and others might be like, okay, it's okay, I can give myself permission to do this. Eat some canned vegetables once in a while. It's okay to have canned soup or in a Tetra Pak with barley and lentils and other veggies, and it's still good for you. It still has the nutrients in there for you most of the time. Check your labels. Eat frozen veggies. It's okay. From what I know about them, and I'm not a nutritionist, a lot of the nutrients are still packed in there for you. So save yourself time. If you haven't planned ahead and you don't have a day a week where you're prepping some of the meals for yourself or your family, whoever you are also feeding, aside from your own mouth, then you want to have some quick grabs, some quick go-tos that are still healthy and make you feel good about what you're putting in your body, what you're nourishing yourself with, right? Another thing I love to do, love to do is smoothies. Such an easy way to get fruit in myself and my kids. Kale and spinach can go in smoothies really easily, and they're fabulous for you. A greens powder, I add something like this. This is a drink that I drink called Ionix, and it's full of minerals and vitamins that decrease your stress levels. So it's fun. With smoothies, you can pop lots of different things in there and get your nutrient needs met. 2 bonus shortcuts I have for you, and I'll just read Linda's comment here. I'm an occupational therapist with kids. My hubby is a night owl, so I find I stay up with him, then go to bed too late for my own needs. Yeah, it sounds like maybe reevaluating what your priorities are and how late you're willing to stay up so that you can make sure that you feel the way you want to feel on a daily basis will be important for you. I can understand you want to have time with your husband, so I completely understand. You just need to make sure that you have clear values and clear priorities for yourself so that you can feel the way you want to feel. So the 2 bonus shortcuts before we hop off are mindset. If you don't believe that you have the time to create fantastic health for yourself, the time to sleep well, feel rested, eat good food, work out, if you're always saying, I don't have the time, I'm so rushed. I'm so busy. Life is so hectic. Watch your words. Your words are very powerful. And it says in a book that I love that the tongue can be like fire. It can set a forest on fire, or it can build people up. You need to build yourself up with your words. You need to build belief up in yourself so that you're feeling like, whoo, like, like you're floating and empowered by your words, by your thoughts. You need to be telling yourself, I have the time to fit in a workout today. And then when your mind believes what your words say, you will find the time for it. That's how it works. It's just a natural progression. So watch your words, watch your thoughts, because you're the master of your brain, not the other way around. Karen, you said, what's in your drink? Looks refreshing. It is refreshing, Karen. There's so many things in this drink. If you want to chat about it more later, I can tell you more about what's in it. Another bonus shortcut is to pay attention to how you're really feeling, your emotional state, and get in touch with how you're feeling and become more self-aware just by taking account of how you're feeling in the moment before you grab something really unhealthy, before you try and cover up your needs and your emotions with food or with TV or with whatever. You need to know how you're feeling so that you can stay healthy and take care of yourself and your needs. If you want to stay healthy and you want a shortcut to health, you need to take a little bit of time. It's worth it at the beginning to get to know what needs you're kind of shoving down and not paying attention to and covering up with things that you think will make you feel better in the moment. If you're doing that, then the long-term repercussions are not worth it. Some of them are weight gain. Some of them are negative thought habits. Some of them are disconnecting with your spouse, your children, or your friends. So negative things can happen in the long term if you try and mask what your needs are right now and you don't make time for yourself. Any questions from you, Karen, Linda, Amber, Marika, anyone else who was on is on here live with us, Annette, on these topics that we've been covering today? Anything that you picked up today that you feel like such a gold nugget and you really want to try applying it to your life and taking action? What is one gold nugget that you're taking away from today? I'm just gonna have another drink and wait for you guys to share that with me, and then I'm gonna close with a few slides. Like I said earlier, if you know that it's time for you to make a change, I would highly encourage you to not wait for the perfect timing. There is no perfect timing. And when you think about the results that you want to achieve with your life, you have to know that if you don't make changes right now, you're going to stay in this comfort zone and be unfulfilled, and it will cost you something. If you don't take action, it's always costing you something. It's costing you in your health, in your relationships, or even in your business, your work life. It costs your family because you're not as happy, fulfilled, healthy as you could be, and that impacts your relationships. Amber, your one takeaway is to raise your standards. It's going to be powerful for you when you do, and you stick to that. And it'll become easier as you practice new habits. Marika, your takeaway is to stop and check in with yourself more often. Yeah, I did that for several weeks a couple years ago, and it has impacted my life ever since. I became so much more self-aware, and then you have more self-control. Yay! What would it mean for you if you had more free time right now? Ladies, what would it mean for you if you felt happier, more alive, more energetic? What would it mean for you if you felt you could be more productive? You could be like on this treadmill and not getting tired because you have such great self-care that you can keep running in your businesses or your companies. You can keep running in your personal lives and not run out of steam. What would that mean if you could take more time off, if you could decrease your stress? What would be achievable for yourself? I want you to think and dream right now. You said, Linda, you're going to take the time for you and your health without feeling guilty. Yeah, because you're worth it. You're worth it, Linda. You're just as worth it as anyone else. Karen, you say you're going to learn to meditate and take this time. Thanks for saying it's okay to meditate while walking. Oh yeah, I do that all the time. I think it's a great opportunity to meditate. You're welcome, Annette. I'm really glad you enjoyed the webinar. So I'm going to make an invitation for you if you know that it's the right time and you're ready to jump in with both feet and you're not somebody who is going to make excuses and complain and blame other people for the life that you have right now. If you're somebody who's willing to take action and jump in with 2 feet and trust me, I have 5 spaces open for breakthrough strategy sessions. And what those are, they're free. You have no obligation to work with me, but they're my gift for those of you who want them. I'm a busy mom, I'm a busy businesswoman, and my coaching calendar is very full. So if you're somebody who's ready to take action and you know you want to have better health, you know you want to have increased productivity, success, and income, you know you want to decrease your stress, then these are perfect for you because I'm going to go through your goals with a fine-tooth comb with you. I'm going to hold your hand and walk you through the steps that you need to start taking so that you can achieve the life you want to be living. So I'm going to put the link down here for you guys. It's www.amyengelmark.com/breakthrough. And I wouldn't wait because time is of the essence. When I offer these breakthrough strategy sessions, they go quickly because they are such high value. So if you know now is the right timing, the people who get the best results, they don't wait. They take action and they get big results. If you want to check out the testimonials on my testimonial page, it's amyengelmark.com/testimonials. And thank you so much for being on here live with me. I'm going to ask you a question now for those of you who are still with me so that one of you can get a free copy of the book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyways. Okay, what's my question for you? I always feel like I need to come up with a new question. My question for you is, what's my husband's name? This is a really easy one. For those of you who know me through Facebook or know me well, who is going to get it? What's my husband's name? Let's see who gets this first. I'm going to send you a free copy of Feel the Fear and Do It Anyways, and it's going to arrive at your door. If any of you who hasn't shared what one gold nugget, one takeaway is from this webinar training, why don't you share it with us now right up here in the chat bar? And for those of you who want to grab a copy of Feel the Fear and Do It Anyways, do you know my husband's name? That is the question of the morning. Stay on for another minute because sometimes there's a lag and you guys don't hear me for like 15 seconds after I actually speak. If you loved this webinar and you want more, I invite you to like it and share my Facebook posts so that more people can see and find out and get free access to these trainings, okay? Oh, Amber, you're so close. It starts with a B. It's not Blake, it's B. Oh, it's so close. It actually is the name of something in nature. Will Amber get it, or will someone else get it? Who knows the name of my husband? I don't know if I want to give this one away. Anybody else want to stab at it? Pretty soon I'll be putting on my painting gear and I will be hopping into becoming a painter at our investment property we've just bought. That's a good guess. Amber, I'm giving the book to Amber. It's not Bark, but I'd love to meet somebody named Bark. It's actually it's actually Beach. Annette knows my husband's name, I'm pretty sure. It's Beach. Yeah, Annette, seashells. Hint, hint, hint. So Amber, why don't you send me an email? You can send it to amy@amyengelmark.com and let me know your mailing address so that I can send you a copy of this. Okie doke. Thanks for coming on with me live, and I will see you all next week. And I hope you have a great, great day. Talk to you soon. You're welcome. Bye. Bye, Amber. Bye, Marika.